Have you ever sat in a crowded room and felt completely invisible? Picture this, a family dinner table where no one speaks a word, just the cold glow of phone screens lighting up blank faces. Plates untouched, eyes vacant, you're there too, scrolling past strangers' perfect lives while the real people across from you fade into background noise. This isn't rare anymore, it's an epidemic. 1 in 4 Americans now eats every single meal alone, a 50% surge in just 20 years. However, what terrifies me most is loneliness isn't the real villain. There's a hidden pain beneath it all, something we've been trained not to see, that's quietly destroying our capacity for happiness. And in the next 12 minutes, I'll expose exactly what it is, why it's spreading faster than ever, and the 3 unconventional steps that actually work to escape it. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see everything. We live surrounded by promises of connection. Streaming platforms offer unlimited entertainment. Apps deliver meals in minutes. Social networks claim to link billions of us in real time. Yet despite these tools, which are explicitly built to bring us together, loneliness has become a global crisis. But it's not just about being physically alone in an empty apartment. It runs deeper. It's the emotional numbness that settles in even when you're surrounded by others. A comprehensive 2023 worldwide survey found that 1 in 5 people experiences crushing loneliness every single day. In the United States, that number rockets past 60% for adults under 30. The paradox is staggering. We are more connected digitally than any previous generation in human history. Yet the authentic human bonds that truly nourish our souls are vanishing at an alarming rate. We sit in packed coffee shops staring at screens. We attend parties, but we scroll through our feeds the entire time. We message dozens of people daily, yet feel truly heard by none. Technology promised to erase distance and unite us across oceans. Instead, it built invisible walls between hearts sitting at the same table. But the loneliness epidemic is just the surface symptom. Dig deeper, and you find something far more sinister. The meaning void. Philosopher Adam Fisher referred to it as the modern existential malaise, a pervasive emptiness characterized by purposeless boredom and quiet despair that persists despite material abundance. We fill mansions with furniture, garages with vehicles, closets with clothes, yet our souls remain starved. The 2024 World Happiness Report aptly captures this crisis. The United States dropped out of the top 20 happiest nations globally for the first time since rankings began in 2012. This wasn't a statistical blip, it marked a seismic collapse in collective well-being. Younger generations suffered the steepest decline. Millennials and Gen Z report feeling profoundly adrift, trapped between society's definitions of success and the hollow reality of achieving them. They check all the boxes, degrees, careers, followers, then wake up asking, is this really it? The American dream delivered materially but left a gaping spiritual wound. We optimize for efficiency and accumulation while abandoning wisdom and purpose entirely. The result? An entire generation living in quiet desperation, scrolling through curated highlight reels while wondering why their own existence feels so empty. Here's where it gets disturbing: what actually fuels this epidemic of misery? It begins with capitalism's most seductive lie, that wealth and possessions equate to happiness. We've absorbed this story through every advertisement, every media message, every cultural narrative since birth. Climb the ladder, buy the house, upgrade the car, and joy will follow automatically. Behavioral economists thoroughly demolished this myth through the Easterlin paradox. Economist Richard Easterlin demonstrated that once basic needs, such as food, shelter, and safety, are met, additional income yields rapidly diminishing returns on happiness. The excitement from a raise evaporates within months as you adapt to your new baseline. Even more disturbing, research from UC Berkeley shows increased wealth actually erodes empathy and dulls sensitivity to others' suffering. Wealthy individuals demonstrate measurably less compassion in controlled studies. The relentless pursuit of more drains your finite mental and emotional reserves, leaving nothing for genuine connection, creativity, or peace. You work brutal hours to afford things you don't need, sacrificing irreplaceable time with loved ones for overtime pay. You optimize every waking moment for productivity, measuring life in terms of metrics and achievements rather than memories and meaning. The cruel irony cuts deep. You chase wealth to buy happiness, but in the process, you lose the very things that create happiness. Family time gets traded for business trips. Friendships dissolve as networking takes priority. Hobbies vanish under side hustles. You become a human doing, not a human being. Your worth reduced to output rather than character. The treadmill accelerates, but the finish line keeps receding into the distance. Wait, it gets worse. Layered over this material chase, many experience what psychologists call existential isolation, the unsettling conviction that no one truly understands your inner world. This transcends physical loneliness. It's the gut-wrenching feeling that your deepest fears, dreams, and thoughts remain fundamentally unknowable to others. Even surrounded by co-workers, family, and friends, a profound isolation shadows you everywhere. This form of disconnection correlates strongly with diminished purpose, fractured belonging, and spiking anxiety. You're in rooms full of people yet feel utterly invisible, unheard, fundamentally alone in your experience of reality. Now consider how technology weaponizes this disconnect. Social media platforms, once marketed as humanity's great connectors, now function like funhouse mirrors, warping reality and manufacturing comparison. Major studies from Stanford and Mass General confirm that heavy social media use directly correlates with increased anxiety, depression, shattered sleep, and plummeting life satisfaction. The mechanism is insidious. You post your highlight reel, vacations, wins, filtered selfies, while consuming everyone else's manufactured perfection. The comparison trap snaps shut. Why isn't my life that exciting? Why don't I look that good? Why does everyone else seem so effortlessly happy? Even teenagers who grew up immersed in these platforms now openly admit they damage mental health, though most cling to the delusion they're personally immune. That brief dopamine hit from likes and hearts fades instantly, replaced by the bitter aftertaste of comparison. Your emotional life gets outsourced to algorithms, optimized not for your well-being, but for engagement metrics and advertising revenue. These platforms ruthlessly exploit psychological vulnerabilities, your craving for validation, your fear of missing out, your tribal instincts, while your core human needs go completely unmet as you scroll endlessly through an infinite void of artificial connection. Compounding everything is the near-total disappearance of meaningful rituals from daily life. Rewind one generation, families gathered around tables for long meals filled with laughter and real conversation. Communities assembled regularly for celebrations, gatherings, and neighborhood events, where time seemed to slow and souls found grounding in shared experiences. Today, those anchors dissolve, kitchens echo empty as microwaves ping individual meals. Dinners happen hunched over phones or zoned out in front of screens. Bureau of Labor statistics. Time use data shows Americans spend less time cooking or eating together than ever documented in history. This ritual famine breeds more than loneliness. It inflicts tangible physical harm, elevated depression rates, compromised immunity, cardiovascular disease, and premature death comparable to smoking's mortality impact. Our brains face an evolutionary mismatch. Human neurology evolved over hundreds of thousands of years in response to tight tribal living. Small groups, campfire stories, clear signals of safety and belonging within stable communities. Now we endure relentless 24/7 information floods from across the planet. News cycles bombard us with crises we can't control. Alerts interrupt thoughts dozens of times hourly. Superficial content drowns awareness, while deep reflection becomes impossible. Primitive brains, still wired for savanna survival, drown in modern stimulation levels, triggering chronic stress. Yet, contemporary culture actively punishes admitting to being overwhelmed. Power through, smile for Instagram, scroll during every potential moment of stillness, mask genuine pain behind toxic positivity and performative wellness. This forced cheerfulness bottles authentic emotion, recycling suffering into anxiety disorders, chronic insomnia, numbing through binge-watching, and substances. Beneath the facade of optimism lurks existential dread, the silent battle with life's harshest realities that we desperately avoid. Death's inevitability, freedom's crushing responsibility, isolation's fundamental nature, the search for meaning in an indifferent universe. Therapists like Vivian Heller have built careers showing how avoiding these ultimate concerns fuels the persistent ache no distraction resolves. We autopilot through years, skillfully dodging depth, paying with that vague, unnamed pain shadowing us everywhere. Culture amplifies this by glorifying autonomy, achievement, and productivity, while systematically destroying relationships, creativity, and joy. Work becomes efficiency theater, reducing humans to metrics. Spontaneity dies under calendars crammed with obligations. We morph from meaning makers to solution buyers, purchasing self-help books instead of doing hard inner work. Psychologist Sonia Lyubomirsky's research on hedonic adaptation explains why new possessions or promotions never deliver lasting happiness. We adapt instantly the new car thrill. Weeks does the raise satisfaction. Months, our happiness baseline resets relentlessly, keeping us forever chasing the next thing. We also swallow comforting lies perpetuating suffering, that meritocracy operates fairly, and success is a direct reflection of pure effort, that worth depends entirely on achievements, that everyone else cracked the happiness code we're missing. These cultural narratives blind us to what we actually crave: deeper connection, quiet presence, and awe at existence. No achievement satisfies, but here's the truth: no one tells you. This hidden pain isn't a permanent destiny. Relief lies not in chasing higher pleasure peaks, but in cultivating depth in daily life. The Harvard study of adult development, 85 years tracking human well-being, revealed something profound. Warm, supportive relationships predict happiness and longevity far beyond wealth, intelligence, status, or any other measured factor. But this doesn't mean frantically collecting friends or networking. It means nurturing genuine bonds through deliberate practice. Sharing screen-free space, speaking of true vulnerabilities without performing strength. Building small trust rituals, letting authentic connection breathe and deepen over time. Simple habits anchor presence and build resilience against modern fragmentation. Shared meals have emerged as powerful predictors of happiness in research. Gallup studies tracking thousands of people show that those eating most meals alone report significantly lower life satisfaction, even compared to those facing serious financial struggles. These communal rituals aren't trivial niceties. They're essential anchors recovering lost ground, tethering us to richer human experience. Beyond connection, filling the meaning void demands intentional purpose engagement. Philosopher Elias Mannheim's concept of the existential vacuum found practical application in meaning-centered therapies. The framework offers 3 pathways. First, create something valuable: art, work, a contribution that outlasts you. Second, love unconditionally despite impermanence and risk. Third, choose your attitude confronting unavoidable suffering, finding dignity through hardship. These aren't abstract concepts, but rather daily choices that transform aimless drift into purposeful living. Rituals reinforce emotional stability. Neuroscience confirms that repeated symbolic actions, such as lighting candles before writing, pausing for gratitude before meals, and taking morning silent nature walks, regulate emotions, reduce anxiety, and deepen bonds measurably. These routines serve as emotional anchors, restructuring neural pathways and drawing you from distraction into a calm, intentional presence. Hedonic adaptation's antidote isn't chasing novelty, but weaving gratitude through rituals. Deliberately name small victories, Pause to genuinely savor moments rather than immediately seeking the next thrill. Resist cultural pressure to constantly upgrade. These practices build everyday depth accumulation that can never be. Harvard's Daniel Gilbert showed that lottery winners and accident victims report identical happiness just 1 year post-event, proving that external gains fade quickly. But intentional gratitude nurtures lasting well-being by training attention toward present abundance. Modern overstimulation demands reclaiming attention through discipline. Brains weren't built for constant information bombardment. To reclaim focus and balance, cultivate new habits. Designate screen-free hours daily. Embrace silence without filling gaps. Engaging hands-on creative activities, bypassing analytical chatter. When the world grows loudest, listen inward first to your own wisdom and needs. Revising internal beliefs proves equally critical. Consciously shift from speed to presence, efficiency to humanity, certainty to curiosity. Identities form through the stories you tell yourself. Healing comes from courageously rewriting narratives toward authenticity and compassion. Facing existential anxiety directly proves essential for overcoming unhappiness, meaning therapies teach suffering isn't life's exception, but its rule. Confronted with dignity rather than denial, pain reveals profound purpose, even amid tragedy. Life's finitude demands living illuminated by chosen meaning, not shadowed by avoidance. Yet individual solutions alone won't resolve a systemically rooted crisis. Structural issues compound personal struggles. The 2025 World Happiness Report highlights the rising economic pressures that are intensifying anxiety. Inflation erodes purchasing power while wages stagnate. Job instability has become the norm as companies prioritize flexibility over job security. These forces devastate younger Americans trapped in precarious gig work, without benefits or prospects. Hustle culture glorification, constant availability, 60-hour work weeks, fuels an epidemic of burnout, systematically fracturing well-being. Physical health suffers dramatically from chronic loneliness. CDC data shows prolonged isolation undermines immune function, increases heart disease and diabetes risk, and measurably shortens lifespan. Emotional isolation manifests as biological harm throughout the body, making loneliness not just psychological, but an urgent public health crisis. Community offers a powerful remedy. Local groups, volunteering, grassroots initiatives rebuild belonging webs in modern life frayed. Individual agency matters too. Tools like the UCLA Loneliness Scale track feelings and monitor improvement. Journaling shifts encourages crucial self-awareness. True transformation emerges through real stories. Consider Marcus, a software developer, hitting rock bottom from anxiety and isolation. He committed to a full year of digital detox, no social media, minimal phone use. Within months, his anxiety plummeted, friendships deepened dramatically, and purpose returned that achievement never provided. Or take Elena, burned out after a decade in corporate finance. Following profound personal loss, she used daily reflective journaling to reconstruct meaning. She discovered that facing suffering honestly becomes the doorway to a deeper purpose. Your journey starts with one step. Try a 7-day social media fast starting today. Log emotions throughout. Notice what shifts when you reclaim attention from algorithms. Text one friend for an actual face-to-face meal this week. No phones allowed. Start a 2-minute daily gratitude ritual before bed. The hidden pain of modern life lessens when we choose authentic connection, genuine presence, conscious purpose over mindless distraction and empty consumption. Drop a comment right now sharing which step you'll take first. What will you choose to reclaim a life of true depth and lasting joy?